Something happened in 1991 that changed the world. Timothy Berners-Lee launched the World Wide Web. And because of the way that it has changed the way that we communicate, educate, opinionate, share information, and for this conversation, learn, he has been called a modern-day Gutenberg, which is kind of interesting because the printed page is so different than the web page. The printed page really hasn't changed much in 500 years. In the West, we still read from the upper left to the lower right. Where with a web page, here from the New York Times, so our reading pattern looks a little bit more like this, and that's because we have all of these distractions, hyperlinks and clickbait and advertisements. So it really does look like the Candyland game. Well, this did not go unnoticed. Nicholas Carr, who does write for the New York Times, also wrote a book called The Shallows, or What the Internet is Doing to Our Brains. It's a great discussion on how we learn, but he has also come to the conclusion that the web has turned us into skimmers, and we're losing the ability to read deeply. We become information cherry pickers. We just Google it. So when you start to learn something on the web, your journey might look a little bit like this, where you're bouncing around between all of these various areas that the web affords. But you can't Google everything. Not everything is available on the web. Well, that's kind of a humorous example. But seriously, sometimes you need some help, especially if you're looking for something that is proprietary. In other words, it's only known to a particular organization, or if it really needs to be an efficient learning experience, or if it needs to be customized for a particular person or group of people, or if there's just a lot of people that need the information. So how can you provide that kind of experience for someone that you want to educate? Well, we think we have an answer. Remarkable Start. It's a web application that marries the convenience and the scale and the automation of the web with a distraction-free and focused learning experience. But even better, you can have more than one piece of content. You can have lots of buckets, each with their own related information. And here's the beauty. All that different content can automatically be delivered to different people at different intervals over any span of time. And even better, it's scalable. There's really no limit to the amount of content you can have, the number of intervals that it can be delivered at, and the number of people that are involved. So what's a practical application for Remarkable Start? Let's say that you've hired a new CFO and you want to onboard this person. So before they actually start the job, they would start receiving content about the culture of the organization and their responsibilities. And then when they finally start, maybe for the first month, they're going to receive content about the people in the organization and the systems and the more nitty-gritty. But then as the year wears on, they can get monthly content that helps them with their job, tips and tricks, and how to do it better. So how does this look in the wild? Take the new hire, for example. Each new content drop will come with an email. So they click on this link and it takes them here. So once they log in, they'll see all the content for that particular interval, possibly an article, it could be of any length, a place where they can download a worksheet or a white paper. They might watch a video. They can rate the content, which is helpful to the administrator. And there's even a place where they can interact or provide an answer to a question that's related to the topic. Now the archive is a little bit different in that it shows all the content under this particular topic, but they can't jump ahead. They can only go back and review content that they've been given access to before. Right now the account screen is not all that exciting, but as they build a history of viewing content and answering questions, they will be able to go back and review that here. So that's a look at the user side. Let's take a look at the admin side. Now the administrator logs in on the same screen, but they get a dashboard. And on this dashboard, they will see all of their users, their content units, the packages that they have put together, and the various categories. And all of this is very flexible, just depending on how you want to use it. But all of this stuff is listed out and can be edited at any time. So for instance, I want to change this. You can see how the content gets entered and laid out. Very simple, straightforward, and easy to use. And you can organize all of your content into various packages and categories. Again, just depending on what you think fits best. Now on the user screen, besides seeing a list of the users, you can see that 2 of them have been assigned to a group leader. The group leader can then keep them accountable because he or she can go back and look at the log of the content that they have accessed, look at how they've answered questions, rated things, and so on. So all of this very straightforward, very easy to use, but highly flexible and allows great scalability in the long term. So to sum it all up, and this is going to sound a little bit like a dictionary definition, but Remarkable Start is a learning tool that automates the delivery of this personalized content to a specific audience or individual or individuals over the appropriate amount of time. So it's really good for bringing new people into a situation they're unfamiliar with, or for transitioning folks from one role or place to another. Also good for introducing a new concept or method. And lastly, just something that can go back to as a tool. So visit our website, remarkablestart.com, or send us an email at tellmemore@remarkablestart.com. Thanks for your time.